This is Praia Formosa. This is eastward looking at Atlantic Ocean, northern tip of Joao Pessoa on a peninsula. Behind me is the river. This is the Atlantic. Going south is actually Praia Formosa. We're kind of nearing the edge of this little spit here on our way to Fortaleza, Santa Catarina, and the beginning of the Trans-Amazonica Highway. But Praia Formosa, this is a nice beach. Okay, here we are, the beginning of the Trans-Amazonica Highway. Kilometer 0, this is where it starts. BR 230 KM 0, state of PB is Paraíba. This is where it starts. So this road cuts about 4,000 kilometers into the state of Amazonas. It's not all done. A lot of it is still unpaved and just mud. It's still not finished. I think they started like in 72. But this is where it all starts right here in this unassuming place. The river is that way, the ocean's behind me, so we get a few selfies, and Joao's kind enough to wait for me in the Bom dia, Senhor Vaca. Café da manhã. Well, once again, you get here early enough. One, you don't even pay. Two, you get to see cows for free and gatos, and there's no one else to compete with. So we'll see what this place is all about. This is the movie theater in here. Igual. Wow. It's grande.
Um navio só.
Assim.
Ali.
Ali. Cabedelo?
Que cabedelo. Ali, ó. Só tem um navio. Placado.
Okay, and we're back. I checked a lot of boxes, and it's all with help from Joao. He was great. I first met him when he picked me up from the airport in here, Joao Pessoa, and I hired him off the clock Uber. He makes more money that way. I don't suggest you do that, especially when you're not in country, because you just never know. It can be, things can go sideways pretty quickly here. So, I had a good feeling about him. I try to smile. I tell him my name. I ask about his family. I tell him about mine. I tell him I like his car. I try to be more than just a number or a person. Maybe I'm less likely to wind up in the side of a ditch without any money or a passport. But I had a good feeling about him, so I just assumed if I'm paying Uber 80, he's getting a cut of that. So I just assumed give him all the 80. Oh, new coconut delivery. Anyway, I couldn't have done it without his help. We saw some south to central to north, and so now I've got plenty of time. It's just barely 10 o'clock. We're going to spend a few hours at the beach and just check out Cabo Branco Beach and see what it's like. I can tell already that it's much more calm here waves-wise. It's definitely not as busy quite yet. Solar News about an hour or so off. It is quite warm. It's windy. I need to get some soccer jerseys for you-know-who. And tomorrow I've got Recife Olinda. I've got to confirm that. But otherwise, it was a great day. Joao, I was able to say, here. Nope, don't need to go here, don't need to go here. And it was worth the 50 bucks, 50 bucks. I was with him for 5 hours, and he took me exactly where I wanted to go and exactly where I didn't want to go, which is if you're part of some scripted tour, you're going to get drug along for the ride, and you're going to be slowed down by the slowest person. There's always a slow person. So that was the way to fly, and Joao's going to be my go-to guy wherever I want to go. So let's hit the beach and just see how much we love Jampa. That's it. Well, definitely could be worse days to be hanging out on the beach. That water is just incredible. Those are some of the boats that take people on the tours. I don't know tide-wise how it's going to work out. The way the moon is, the low tides are very high and the high tides are very low. So I don't know how that actually plays out. From my little bit of research, it seems like this week really isn't possible because the tides, even at low tide, are just too high. So we'll see how it plays out. So could be worse. That's my hotel right there, 3rd floor. The pool is above that. Yeah, I did choose it on location and view. It was actually very, very reasonable for 5 days. It's close to a lot of kiosks. Split distance between Cabo Branco and Tambao. Waves are very calm. Try to get some footage in the water. It looks exceptionally turquoise blue. Also trying to keep an eye on those fishing boats to see if they leave today at low tide. One of the reasons I like Joao Pessoa beaches over, say, Natal, Pipa, even Salvador is they're more swimmable and they're larger. I mean, even in high tide, you've got an incredible amount of beach that can be used 24 hours a day. Natal, not the case. Pipa, not the case. Also, too, it's more swimmable. The waves just aren't going to beat you up. About a kilometer and a half or 2 Ks offshore here you have the second largest reef system in the world, and that's blocking a lot of these waves. In fact, if you can look close, you're going to see whitecaps. You'll see breakers way out there, and that's the reefs. And that's what's keeping this area really calm right now. And that's the difference. It's not work. You're not going to get your butt kicked going out there in the water. It's just much more tranquil, even on a windy day. Those boats haven't moved, which tells me this week they're done. They're not doing reef tours because the low tides are just too high this time of year. I didn't check the moon phase, but I'm certain that has something to do with it. But hey, it's been a great day at the beach, and we'll see how long we can stick this out for the rest of the day. Tomorrow is Recife and Olinda, and that'll be a mega adventure there. So charge up the batteries, free up the micro SD cards,